It's time for the X and Y Show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y Show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y Show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings, and greetings. Welcome to another segment of the X and Y Show, and I'm your host, Roosevelt. And tonight we're going to get into a deep subject that is definitely affecting everyone in society. I'm going to talk about the perfect marriage tonight. And I think it affects everyone, whether you're married or you're getting married or you've been married or you know someone who's been married a long time or you desire to get married, whatever the case may be. I think this is a very important topic because I think that society as a whole is misguided. I think that everyone watches television and all of these movies and reality shows and all this bullshit that's going around, and they think that they can actually have a perfect marriage. And that's what I believe that is the core reason behind a lot of divorces that we have today. Because when people get into this quote-unquote perfect marriage and find out that it's not so perfect, then they want to get out of it. And that's how a lot of things happen. That's how families, sometimes that happens after children. So they escalate the situation to a worse condition. Families being broken up because these silly ass people said, I do, and they weren't ready to say I do. They basically got married off of a notion that they can have a perfect marriage, which is bullshit. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump right into tonight's topic. Tonight's topic, what is a perfect marriage? Ask you again, what is a perfect marriage? Now, in asking that question, I want you to think about it for a second. If you're not married, or if you're married and just think about before you got married, what was your idea of a perfect marriage? Think about it for a second. Now, for me, when I was, and let you all know, I'm not married. Never been married. I know some of you say, well, what the fuck is he going to tell me about marriage? Who in the fuck is he? I can have an observation of what I've seen. I've seen a lot of shit over the years, believe it or not. And I'm a product of parents who were married for 53 years before my dad passed. But they were married for 53 years. So, have I actually been married? No, I'm not going to try to, perpetrate that I've been married and know it all and shit. No, I've never been married before. I do want to get married one day. But just because I haven't been married doesn't mean that I can relay some heavy shit on you about what a perfect marriage, quote unquote perfect marriage is. And I don't believe it exists. I'm going to elaborate on that in a moment. But I want you to go back on the notion, what is your idea of a perfect marriage? Now, before, in my younger days, it was simple for me. A perfect marriage to me was Basically, all the pussy I want. Anytime I want some pussy, she was there. Night, day, morning, afternoon, whatever the case may be, after work, whatever, in the car, garage, wherever the case. Whenever I wanted pussy, she was there. That's the first one. Second one, shut the fuck up. Just don't talk. Third, don't fuck with the AC. That's all I had. That was my 3 notions of a perfect marriage. Give me all the pussy that I want. Shut the fuck up. Don't touch the damn AC. Now, of course, that was my younger days. And I've matured, thankfully. I've matured greatly from that point in my life. And now I will allow them to touch the AC. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I've matured. It's amazing how when you're younger, it's so much bullshit that you cater to. And, I think about that, I was in my early 20s when I used to believe, a perfect marriage was actually getting pussy anytime you wanted it, shut the fuck up, don't nag, basically don't nag me, and don't touch the AC. I like it pretty cold, That's all I had, which is, and I think about that now, that was some dumb shit. But, when you're young and stupid, that's the kind of shit that you think about, and that's the kind of shit that come out of your mouth. That's why you shouldn't get married at a young age, because you're too silly. And not everybody. There are exceptions to the rules. I know someone out there saying, we got married when we were 18, and we've been together for 40 years. There are exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, if you're young, you're too silly to get married. You should be at least, I would say, early 30s, maybe late 20s. Maybe late 20s. You can get away with it. 28, 29, But early 20s, no. You're too silly, for the most part. Now, I told you my notions when I was younger of a perfect marriage, a quote-unquote perfect marriage. I lose that term loosely because I think a perfect marriage does not exist. It does not exist. But I'm going to elaborate on that in a moment. Now, from what I perceive to be a perfect marriage, I told you that when I was younger. Now, being older and more wiser, I believe there are other things that makes a good marriage. Not a perfect marriage, but a good marriage. There's a difference. And I'm going to elaborate on that in a moment. But, many couples get married. Actually, you'd be surprised how many people get married every day, each and every day, go down to the courthouse, or they have a big wedding. And, from all facets of the economic chain, poor people, rich people. I've seen people spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars on their wedding and their divorce in 3 months. So it doesn't matter if you're poor or rich. This affects everyone in the same manner. A lot of people actually think when they get married, they have the notion that their marriage is going to be perfect. They're going to have a marriage that is 100% problem free. When they say I do, when they finally say I do and walk down the aisle, and after the honeymoon and after the glitz and after the presents are open, all the presents are taken back for the money, when reality sets in and they realize that this is not perfect. This is not perfect. This is not what I thought it would be. This is not perfect. What is this? I want a divorce. They didn't want to get out of it. When they don't realize that if a marriage is not perfect, that's okay. That's what I believe that the message should be in society of today. That's what people should go into a marriage thinking that you're not looking for a perfect marriage, because it doesn't exist. Believing that there's a perfect marriage is believing that a lion won't attack you because you have a Lion King shirt on. It's silly. It's silly. You should not go in a marriage believing that there's a perfect marriage. You're chasing a unicorn. You're chasing the Holy Grail. You're chasing something that you'll never find. It doesn't exist. And it's not bullshit to desire a perfect marriage. There's nothing wrong with that. But you won't have a perfect marriage. But you can have a good marriage. And there's a difference. And I'm going to tell you how you can have a good marriage. So if you're not married, if you're getting married, or if you've been married, you can kind of assess the things I'm going to say and say, oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Which I know I'm right. Shit. But, everyone, this kind of touches on everyone. So, now, every couple that actually goes into a marriage should have the notion that, hey, we're going to have some rocky times. I know it. It's going to be some shit that we're going to, that we're going to go, we have to work through together. And that's the only way we're going to get through it. We love each other. We love each other. That's key. I'm going to get into that in a moment. You should go into a marriage with an open mind that, we're going to have problems, but we're going to work through it together. That's a good marriage. It's not perfect, but it's a good marriage. Now, before I move on, I asked a few friends that I know that's married and some that are single, their notion of what is a perfect marriage. Their notion. Now some actually put it on recording for me, and one caught my ear a lot. It was very touching. I actually the both of them, of the couple, to record something, but of course the guy and the couple did not do it. I figured his ass wouldn't, but I asked him and he didn't. But his wife did it, and she really did something special. I would like everyone to hear it. Her name is Lori. I'm not going to say her last name. I want to put it out there like that. But she's married to a friend that I've known for a long time. Her name is David. And they've been married. I didn't know they were married for 19 years. Wow. Man, time is flying. They've been married for 19 years. And that means, I guess when they got married, Lori probably was about, 15 or something. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. She gonna kill me. But this is this is a recording on Lori's notion of perfect marriage, and I don't think it's a perfect marriage. When I heard the recording, it's right along the lines that I'm saying. It's not a perfect marriage, but it's a good marriage. It's a good marriage. And that's what's most important. You're going to have your problems. You're going to have things that you have to get through. But the key is, can you work through it together? And that's what's important. Not being perfect. Desiring to be perfect. Nothing wrong with that. But you're not going to be perfect. But the ability to work through the problems that you're going to have. That will come. You're going to have problems. But anyway, here's Lori. And then I'll come back to you.
Hi, my name is Loretta, and I have been married to my husband Dave for 19 years now in June. Dave and I are each other's best friends. I rely on Dave for everything. He is my core. He is my soulmate. And throughout our 19 years, we've had some wonderful times, and we've had some not wonderful times. We have a 16-year-old son that we've raised together, and that has been also a great challenge within our marriage. But what has kept us going throughout these years is our love and our respect for each other. Marriage is a give and take relationship, and sometimes you are giving more than you're taking, and you just have to work through that and not put yourself first. And in turn, the other person does the same, and that helps you unify each other and become one. As corny as it sounds, when you give more than you take, you receive that back, and you unify, like I said. And being married this long, it's not something that we're used to seeing around with our friends and the people that we interact with on a daily basis. Most of our friends are either divorced or single parents or not even in a relationship. So I do give our marriage a lot of value, and there's not one thing I take for granted. And I know that throughout our years of marriage, the number one component that has helped us get through everything is communication. Communicating effectively and respectively is probably one of the most important things that you have to keep in mind in a marriage. But it really comes down to love. If you truly love the other person, then you can work through this establishment of marriage. Without that real deep love, you can't be selfless and put yourself out there. So just my advice to anyone that's thinking about marriage is to really think about the vows you're taking, and divorce is not an option. And if you're not ready to give up either a career or some long-term goals, or if you're not ready to give up, if you're not ready to sacrifice, then don't do it. But I love my husband dearly, and I can't imagine my life without him. And I look forward to growing old with him and spending our last years together, enjoying everything that we've worked so hard for. So that's my view. Thank you.
Wow. When I listened to that the first time, I had a tear in my eye. That was touching. It really was. And I think that, it's funny that she mentioned three of the traits that I believe that's essential for a good marriage. She mentioned three of them. But if you are listening, she talked about the problems that they've had over the years, and how they work through them. And, now it's not perfect, but it's good because they respect one another, they communicate, they talk. And that's what it's all about. That's what a marriage is compromise and being able to be a good pair together. You'll never be perfect, but you can be good. And that's what it's all about. So anyway, thank you, Lori, for that input. And now I am going to give you my 6 options, or not options, but my 6 traits that I believe that is very essential in having a good marriage. Not a perfect one, but a good one. And I've seen good marriages. I've seen a lot of good marriages over the years. Friends, family members. My parents. They married for 53 years. It was not perfect, but it was very good. It's very good. My parents loved one another. They respected one another. They were a team. They worked together. It was a lot of compromise. I learned a lot from them, just watching them, how they interacted with one another. And to be together 53 years, that definitely says something. That's definitely something special. And hopefully one day I will have that for myself. But anyway, now the sixth traits that I believe that is necessary for a perfect marriage. So if you're listening, if you're not married, you're going to get married, or you're married, and you can listen to see if it matches if you actually agree with me. Now the first one is love. You gotta have love. Like John Lennon say, all you need is love. Actually, you need more than that. But love is essential. Love is the foundation. You can't build a house without a foundation. There's other important things in a house, but without the foundation, you can't build a house. So you have to have love. You got to have the foundation to build upon. You got to have love. Without love, you cannot be married. Without love, you shouldn't be married. And that goes to show, another reason why there's so many divorces, because people nowadays are marrying for everything but love. Money, good sex, the pussy was good. Oh, the pussy was good. Oh, the dick was good. He really know how to eat pussy. Or time. When I mean time, I mean, the woman might be in her early 40s and she think, the biological clock is ticking. She might not get an opportunity. She want to have kids. She want to get married one day. She don't want to be an old maid. Okay, I'll marry you. But she thinking in herself innerly, I don't love him, but I'm going to marry him. Fuck it. I'm going to get married. So a lot of couples are getting married today in today's society for the wrong reasons. It's simple. I mean, when I grew up, even as a kid, I knew that. To get married, you got to love one another. It's not rocket science. You have to love one another. I mean, it won't work. It won't work. Love is the oil in your car. Your car can't run without oil. You got to have oil to run your automobile. You got to have love to be in a marriage. A good marriage. You got to have it. So love, that is the first trait that is needed for a good marriage. The second trait, respect. You have to respect one another. No matter how long you've been married, how short you've been married, you have to respect one another in the relationship. You have to respect one another as people to each other within the marriage. And you also have to respect one another as an example to your kids. You have to show your son and your daughter how it is, how a man should treat their wife, a woman. Respect a woman. You have to show your daughter or your son how it is to respect a husband and respect a man as the leader of the house, and how to be respected as a woman. You have to be an example of that. So you have to have respect for each other, not only for yourselves, within yourselves, but also as an example to your offspring. So respect is definitely essential in a good marriage as well. So that's 2. Number 3, communication. You got to talk. You got to talk to one another. You got to tell that person how you're feeling. You got to tell them that I really don't like that shit you did. And after you tell them how you feel, you can move on. But don't hold that shit inside. You know, you'll be surprised how many couples have been married for 15, 20, 25, 30 years that can't effectively communicate. And they bottle all that shit in themselves. And then one day it blows up. That's why you have all these, you wonder how, damn, he's the husband. How could he shoot his wife? She's the wife. They've been married 30 years. How could she stab her and kill her husband? All that shit been bottled up for 20, 30, 40 years. And one day it comes to a boil. And it's not healthy anyway for you to hold all that shit inside. You have to communicate. You have to tell someone how you feel. If you don't like how something is going, you have to tell them. If you like how something is going, you have to tell them. Baby, not just the bad things either. The good things. Baby, that dress sure looking good tonight. Oh, baby, your hair really looking nice. Oh, honey, I like your mustache. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't have to be all bad. It can be good. But you have to talk to one another. You have to communicate. You have to grow. And the way you grow, you have to talk. You have to actually speak to one another so you can know how you're feeling. You can't have all that shit bottled up inside you. It's not good. Doesn't promote a good marriage. So that's 3. Love, respect, communication. That's 3. 4th, patience. You got to have patience. You must have patience to have a good marriage. You got to have patience. And I've seen my parents over the years growing up, and my dad had a lot of patience. Woo! I used to tell him, I said, Dad, oh man, woo! You got a lot of patience. I used to tell him that all the time. And he always used to say, one day, boy, you'll understand. Hey, that's you got to have patience. Because things are not going to go your way all the time. So you got to have patience. You got to be willing to bend sometimes. Something didn't happen the way exactly that you wanted it to happen. You have to roll with it. You have to deal with it. You have to make it good. You got to have patience. Got to. That's number 4. Number 5, the ability to compromise. You have to compromise. You cannot be in a marriage without compromising. A marriage with no compromise, that's not a good marriage. Me, I like the AC at 75. She like it at 80. Okay, that's compromise. We'll have it at 78. I don't know, whatever the case may be, But you have to work, you have to get around little bullshit that can hinder yourselves from having a good marriage. And a lot of times couples are arguing because of bullshit. Oh, you won't take the garbage out at 8 o'clock. I'm serious, you'd be surprised how many couples argue over shit like that. Because the garbage wasn't taken out at a certain time, or the bathroom seat was left up, or panties being dried on the shower, silly shit. You have to have the ability to compromise. You have to be able to be with that person. You have to make it, if something in a situation that's not good for you, or not great for you, but you can make it okay. Okay, yeah, I really wanted it this way, but okay, yeah, this way I can deal with it. Let's move on. Got bigger things to tackle. So compromise. You have to be able to compromise within a marriage for it to be good. And lastly, good teamwork. Good teamwork. You have to work together. you have to be a team. As far as tackling financial issues or, working with your kids and dealing with them or anything, you have to be a team. From putting your children, from choosing a good school for your kids, whatever the case may be. You have to be a good team. You have to work together. How are you going to be in a good marriage and you can't work together? How many people that you know that are in marriages right now that they're not of one body? He's doing one thing, she's doing another. There's no teamwork. Dealing with the kids, okay, honey, you take them on Monday and Wednesday, help them with their homework. I do it on Thursday and Friday. I don't know, whatever the case may be. Teamwork. Honey, I'll clean the bathrooms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Don't worry about it. I'll cook Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You have to make it good for it. I don't know what the case may be. Whatever it is for you two, you have to determine that. But you have to be a good team. You have to have good teamwork. You have to work together. You have to make it good for the both of you, not just you. You can't be selfish. You have to make it good for the both of you. So if you've forgotten what I mentioned, the 6 things that is absolutely necessary for a good marriage, not perfect, a good marriage. Love. Number 1, love. You got to have love. Respect. You got to respect one another. Communication. You got to talk. Let them know how you feel. Patience. Got to have patience. You're going to be together for the rest of your lives. That's what it says. Do death do us part. You got to have patience. Number 5, the ability to compromise. Shit not always going to go your way. You have to have the ability to bend a little bit. Okay, you wanted 5, you get 3. Okay, let's move on. You wanted your AC on 75, we even on 78. Let's move on. You have to have the ability to compromise. And lastly, you have to be a good team. You have to be able to work together. Now notice all of the traits that I said, none of them were of a physical element. Have to look good, have to be attractive, have to have good pussy, have to have good dick or whatever the case may be. None of it was physical. Because I believe if you have those 6 traits that I mentioned beforehand, all of that will come. You have love in your marriage, you conquer 50% of it right there. 80%. If you have love, like John Lennon said, that's all you need. If you have love, respect, communication, patience, compromise, and good teamwork, the physical will come. The physical will come. If you have a good marriage, having a good marriage is not necessarily having someone that... I'll give you a perfect example. How many couples that like, damn, she's so attractive. How the fuck did she get with him? Now, yes, of course, he could have money or something. I don't know. But if it's genuine, she's with him because she loves him. He's a good man. He's a good person. He talks. They talk together. They respect one another. They're a good team. They have patience with each other. They have all the traits. So she don't care about he's losing his hair. She don't care about his little bare belly. She don't care about all that shit. That's all bullshit. He's a good man. And vice versa. You see an attractive man with a woman that's not as attractive. You say, damn, how in the hell did he get with her? Well, the same thing. He loves her. He respects her. They communicate together. They're patient with one another. They're a good team. They compromise well with each other. They're happy. That's what it's all about, being happy. Having a good marriage. Not a perfect one, but a good one. So I'll conclude on that note tonight. When I first started the show, I asked, what is a perfect marriage? What is a perfect marriage? What do you think a perfect marriage was before you got married, if you're married right now? Or what do you think a perfect marriage is as a single person? Think about it. What is a perfect marriage to you? And based off your age or not, you know, your perfect marriage might be a bunch of bullshit. And it probably is because, like I said, there is no perfect marriage. It doesn't exist. It's like a unicorn. It's like a holy grail. It's like a leprechaun. You know, it's like an elf, Santa Claus. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. But there's a good marriage. That's what people should strive for. That's what I'm going to strive for. A good marriage. I don't want a perfect marriage because it doesn't exist. You know, I want a good marriage. I want a marriage where love is a part of that marriage. I want a marriage where respect is a part of that marriage. I want a marriage where communication is a part of that marriage. I want a marriage where there's patience in that marriage. I want a marriage where we compromise well together. And lastly, I want a marriage where we are a good team. We work well together. I'm the quarterback, she's a running back. You know? I'm the pilot, she's the wingman. You get what I'm saying. We're a team. And I think if we have that, and I think if anyone have those 6 traits, then you almost, you got it beat. Will you have a perfect marriage? No, but you'll have a good marriage. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some benefits, other benefits as well. You want to have good sexual relations as well. Now, yeah, you know I was going to say that. You know I wasn't going to get out of here without saying that. That's very important as well. But if you have those other 6 traits, it'd be a lot easier to obtain a physical happiness. Physical will come. Physical will be there if everything else is. And everything else cannot be there if there is no love. So that concludes tonight's episode of the X and Y Show. I hope you enjoyed it. The X and Y Show will be coming at you every Friday. Remember, at 11:30, a new episode. Be sure to listen to whatever venue that you are more comfortable with. The X and Y Show is on Google Play. It is on Blueberry. It's on iTunes. It's on TuneIn, and it's on Stitcher. Whatever venue that you find more comfortable to listen to, please subscribe and comment on XY Show. Good or bad. You know, if it's something that you didn't agree with, fine. Say it. Subscribe. Let me know what you're thinking. Communicate. So, also, I'm on various social medias. I'm on Tumblr. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And I am on Twitter. Now, you can find all of that, my social media, as well as my listening venues, on my website, which is www.thexyshow.com. Again, that is www.thexyshow.com. You can find everything on my website as far as a link to my main platform, which is Spreaker, which I broadcast from. Also, you can visit the XY store, buy a shirt or a coffee mug or iPhone or Android holder, something to show everyone that you are a true X and Wire. And I'll be sure to do that, and I'll post it on the IG account to show everyone that you love the X and Y show. Also, there's a comment form on the website as well, so you can talk to me, let me know your feelings, what you're thinking, any recommendations of future episodes, whatever the case may be, just talk. So that's on the website as well. And with that being said, I guess I will see all of you next week. Same time, same X and Y channel. That concludes another X and Y show, and I want you all to remember that there can be no love without X and Y. Later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.